heart breath. Go with heart breath. And inhale. Oh, Gurudev Namo. Namo Gurudev Namo. Namo Gurudev Namo. Ankare Namo, Jugakare Namo, Satkare Namo, Sarigurudev Namo, Ankare Namo, Jugakare Namo, Satkare Namo, Sarigurudev Namo, Ankare Namo, Jugakare Satkare Namo, Sarigurudev Namo. Long deep breath. Good. And here we go with BabaJi. And here we go with BabaJi. And here is the, what do you call it? The word or whatever it is. This is for laughter. Can you believe that? That's LAUGHTER. Okay. So this is just to to listen, to hear what BabaJi knows about that. Okay. So we're going to listen for 3 minutes and begin. And inhale. Exhale. And breathe. Good. Now, what happened to Guru Das Prem?
It looks like he dropped off the call.
Uh-oh.
I bet he'll come back.
Okay. Okay. So let's go with Agya Paul.
Well, this was just the last topic I would have expected. So the surprise is wonderful. And as I was sitting with BabaJi, he seemed to transform himself into a Buddha with a big belly and with belly laughter. And I said to BabaJi, I haven't really laughed in a long, long time. I haven't really laughed like that, like real laughter in a long, long time. And the response was that, and I have a book, the title of which is "Laughter is the Best Medicine," and what Baba said was that when what happens with laughter is, in some ways, it kind of aligns the chakras, and it is a way of letting go of negativity of these. And I seem to be a magnet for negative thoughts and such, and so that the laughter would be a very good prescription for me to just let go of negativity. And so I just was very grateful for for this, and to Baba for reminding me that that laughter is when I was young, I used to laugh a lot more. And one time my mom told me I laughed like a hyena. And that kind of hurt my feelings. And I didn't laugh anymore for,
No.
yeah, in front of her or in front of people, because I didn't want to sound like, that. So it sound so but and that stayed with me. And so I feel like this really has healed that belief that what I sound like when I laugh is not a real attractive sound. And so, but anyway, long story short, this is something that for me I really needed right now. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you, does this say with BabaJi, if with Agya Paul, if you begin to feel negativity, are you beginning to laugh?
Yeah, that's really a good point. It's sort of like a prescription for me, to laugh more, find find uh something to laugh about. And um even I can laugh at myself for getting so uptight about something or obsessing about something. I can just what he's saying is just get to a point where what's really important. What really is important is my relationship with Guru, and Baba will. So I saw Baba, just holding my arm, like taking my arm and just walking, and so yeah, I think that's a prescription that he gave to me.
Oh, isn't that great? Okay.
I have to work on that.
You know what? I have to tell you what happened just now with my neighbor yesterday.
Mhm. Yeah.
And she was getting so upset with Trump
Oh.
and so on. And I was trying to tell her about this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then
Mhm.
I tried to tell her about, the fear eradication. You know what I'm
Yep.
talking?
Yep.
Okay. And so she's Methodist. So
Huh.
she said that she says that when she gets like negative emotional, what she does is she goes basically with their fingers and she goes with the steeple with all
Huh.
the do all that and it kind of wiggles that and then
Mhm.
she feels better.
Ah,
Can you believe that?
sure. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and we thought it was so crazy. So we laughed and laughed. So that
Oh,
was
that's
good.
great.
Yeah, good. Hey,
Thank you.
yeah. So just now, how about we saw Neil for a little bit. Okay, so now how about Gian Davy?
Okay, I'm right here.
Hi, dear.
Hi there. Well, I'm going to have to tell you a bit of a story. And
Okay.
okay, and
Hmm.
we are on topic here eventually. All right, so my brother-in-law, George, died. And I was up helping my sister-in-law and my sister pull things together. So there is a new process where you go to the funeral home, and that is where your loved one is cremated. Why would that happen? Because they wanted you to connect more directly with the death and the loss of your loved one, and that's more
Hmm.
direct than that's the way they said it. So that's the game we're playing. So we all go into the room, some family members, and my sister couldn't. You pressed the button to start the process of cremation. My sister couldn't do it. She asked me to do it. I said sure, and I couldn't do it. So I had invited one of his best friends to come with us. And he pressed the button, and George starts going down the channel, and it explodes. And it's dust, smoke, pieces of cloth. And I went, oh my God, this is George. We're inhaling George, just like 9/11. We need to get out of here. It was suffocating, and it was him. That's what was causing the combustion stuff. So we got out of the space, and I was with the priest and the head of the funeral parlor. And we just looked at each other and started laughing uncontrollably, hilarious laughter. And
Hmm.
his friend was going, this is terrible. We shouldn't be laughing. I said, okay, you stop first. It was hilarious. It was just something my brother-in-law would have put in a movie story. It would be right up his alley. And it was an amazingly, actually a beautiful, funny thing that up to this day, we can just say cremation and laugh our tails off. So it was, there was it was our first time, and it was for the final funeral department, and pipes were put in wrong. Doesn't matter how it happened. The bottom line is it wasn't a terrible thing that it could be for, I'm sure somebody, it could be a terrible thing.
Hmm.
But for us, it was something we'll always laugh about. And something so much that my brother-in-law would have invented anyway. So it's a happy thing, oddly enough, and I know it's odd, but it was a unusual event in our lives.
Mhm.
So that can be the best medicine.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it is
Oh.
amazing. They had to fix it. It couldn't be amazing for everybody.
Oh, it might have been what?
Sued. They could have
Trauma
easily
for
been
a long
sued
time.
for a long time. Yeah. We were even talking about that while we were laughing. How much money can we get out of this? It was just totally disrespectful and hilarious.
Uh-huh.
So if it happened to me, I wouldn't mind going that way.
There you go.
I
That's
mean, in the
great.
cremation thing's under control, maybe. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, but it did feel. I mean, I remember seeing the pictures of 9/11 and understanding how much was in that dust, what was there, right?
Mhm.
So that's my laughter story. And I did
Oh,
ask, Baba Sirichan said I could tell it.
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Hmm.
was there anything else? Did
Oh,
Baba
uh-huh.
Sitchan tell you anything?
Let's see here. Hold on. I
What?
did write other things. Hold on, I'm looking at it. I did write. I don't know where I wrote it. Hold on here. Shoot. Oh yeah, that it can be everything we talked about: a stress release, tension, spontaneity, unifying, refreshing. Oddly enough, and those are just some things that I started writing, and that's when the cremation story came
Okay.
in.
That sounds great. I'm going to tell my family that they're going to start laughing. That's great.
Right, right. And it's just one of those things that if it was taken terribly, which it could have been, would have been terrible.
Uh-huh.
And it is just, obviously, I'm telling you all, if it was terrible, I wouldn't have told you.
Okay.
But it is something very much like, and he had a wicked sense of humor. And we just thought, best person it could happen to. And it was my sister I was most concerned about because she's the one that's left with the pain. And it just was, she said, this is what he would have done. You can't
Mhm.
control those things. So for whatever the reason, I'll have to say, maybe he did coordinate it. Maybe there is, and I think there is life after death. I don't think he could have coordinated a explosion in the cremation center, but don't even put it past him. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, that's wonderful.
I know, isn't it odd? But
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So, uh,
Can I
so
go?
what?
Can it be my turn?
Yes.
Okay, because Gian Das Prem says he's losing connection. He keeps losing connection, but he's gonna try, I think. But oh wow, because I love that laughter story, Suzanne. Because well, what Baba showed me was like he told me a couple of weeks ago, really kind of made the point that karma has weight, that karma is heavy,
Mhm.
and that and what he showed me today was laughter making it lighter, that laughter is light and that it comes from the Manipuri chakra, which is like it starts just below it's around the navel, I guess you could say. And the color is yellow, and everybody thinks yellow is such a happy color, and it's because it's associated with this, but it's also the seat of willpower and of self-confidence and just what Agia Paul said, like about it aligning. You know what he showed me was, sometimes at the beginning of chanting, when you clap your hands together and then you rub so that you can create friction, but also to align your meridians and to like basically magnetize your energy points. that laughter kind of does the same thing by shaking us up and down. And he showed me that, like, if you're in a really heavy karmic situation, or like whatever the situation is, you can make it lighter by laughing. And that part of that is it aligning us magnetically to the higher thing. And that it just makes stuff so much more bright, more um like less heavy. But then with the cremation, Jyoti and Debbie, that's like so amazing because so what else Baba was showing me, so Baba is syncretized with Shiva, like and Shiva loves ashes. They're always uh what a devotion to Shiva. And there are yogis who cover their whole bodies in ashes. There are yogis who hang out in the cremation grounds, and they smear themselves in ashes, and this gives their skin like forever an ashy thing. That's like how they look, is you can tell them by the ashes they're covered in. And it's to remind them of the oneness of life and death. It's to remind them of yeah, of that even in this living form that they are covered in the ashes of somebody else. And that's just so beautiful that you guys were able to be in the cremation room and finally do it. And then like you just kind of got exploded on this guy covered in his ashes as like this um and I could feel all of those yogis um laughing with you. I could feel that, like, oh, this is why they do it. That's and so also in Hinduism, like, they put ashes on. There's one type of ashes that they put on the forehead called vibhuti, and that's especially incense ashes, but it's like a remembrance of Shiva, and it's also just to remind us of of the the cycle of life and death, like, and that we basically are but a speck in that cycle. We're just at like the position that we're at right now. I feel like there might be more later, because I think there was something else with the with the laughter. There's something else, but I don't quite remember it right now.
I hope
Oh,
you do come up with that. What about the heavy karma? I have heard that we're either in it now where there is no karma. I've heard that that's evolved.
I've heard both too. Like, one of my Satya says that basically there's no karma anymore, and that we live it out in the moment. And I'm willing to buy that.
Yeah,
But I also
why?
feel like the samskara, I feel the heaviness. I can really sense that maybe they're both true at the same time.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm willing to listen because I don't know
Yeah.
yet. I would be fine with me, but I don't understand it, because if you learned it one way, it's hard to switch and go, oh, it's been wiped out. Something about it being wiped out. Siri, again, do you understand what we're talking about? Have you heard something?
no, I'm not.
I have.
I,
I'll see if I can find it. I don't
Okay.
know where you know how you listen to so much and all of a sudden I go, I have no idea where I heard this, but it
Okay.
was believable. I believed it when they were saying, oh, hey, look, I'm glad for this. I'm really glad. Mm.
Okay. So you're saying that the negativity of karma is uh what is now?
Is
Is that
Japa, is that what you're saying? It is now?
I'm not exactly saying it, but there are people who say that yeah, that basically that we don't incur karma for the future, and
Mhm.
that um that it's expressed in the present. Um, and um, and I am of enough minds that that I'm willing to accept that there are multiple timelines going on at once, where some people are not experiencing any karma and other people are really. One of my, you guys want to hear one of my kooky, I don't know if I can explain it, but so when I was a pilot, I learned about physics because of how the propeller turns. And the propeller, the way that it moves, part of it is Newton's laws of motion, where an object in motion will stay in motion. But to add on to that, the law of gyroscopic precession says that a force applied is felt 90 degrees ahead on the plane of rotation. So what that means is if you can picture like anything spinning on an axis, a bicycle tire spinning on an axis, and you tap it at 0 or at 360, it will cant up at 90 degrees. It will kick up that way. And that's exactly how karma works, because we are somehow on a gyro. And the immediacy of karma is based on how far away you are from source. So if you're right next to source, then you feel the karma immediately. Whereas if you've done something really big and you're really far away from source and it's got really big ripples, it's going to take you decades to fully experience the karma of that whole movement. And yeah, that was what I learned from being a pilot. So I am prepared to believe that that we are in multiple that multiple timelines can go on at the same time, and that some people might be experiencing their karma like immediately, and other people might be on the slower train, and they might still be on, like an older framework, I guess I would say, where it takes a lot of time to feel the full swing of the pendulum, so to speak.
Oh. So I like the idea there. They were talking about the timeline of this time period.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about something, I have to say you're right on the timeline. I like the idea of that, but it was current as of from now. Let's call it from now.
Yeah.
Because we're 10 years, I don't know. That, and and also children now being born. This was another conversation. Children being born since 1980, 88 or 89 are born without karma. Some people are born without karma. You know that. I mean, that's the truism, right, guys?
Have you heard
that?
But I've also heard that children are being born without karma, and that we are moving toward a karma-free existence. But like, I feel that there are, I want to say, boomers, or like, and I don't mean to put an age limit on it, but I feel that there are people that are vestiges of an older technology that are still perhaps even running the show, and that they are in still experiencing karma. I think that it's possible that younger people and the newer generation is not.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's like so my children would be born 88 and 86. They would still have karma. It's just that time period. I don't know how this all happens. Would be the time period of since 1989. Now, who put the timeline on that? And since other than us, they don't have time periods or timelines. I mean, time in general. So I'm a confusing discussion. I just simply listened. I'm willing to listen, but hey, I'd like to be karma free too.
Yeah. But I don't understand that because what about, people have, what do you call them? Like stress or um, uh, or those terrible things who still have difficulties. Don't you think so?
I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. Okay, explain that, Jeff. I'm not sure I understood what difficulties. What's that? Where's she going with it?
I think like everyday self. I think
Oh,
it's the everyday self that becomes, um, I want to say perpetuated to the habitude, um, of, yeah, or, I think it's everyday self that, that tells itself that we're still on the old wheel of karma. And I think that there are genuinely younger people who are not. And not just younger people. I'm willing to think that there are aliens, perhaps, or other beings, or like, for example, animals. Like, I think that part of I think since COVID, all of our DNA, I feel like, has gotten squishier in the way that like we're sharing zoonotic diseases, and that like we're realizing that we are not different than the animals. And I don't think that animals have necessarily karma, or some animals don't have karma and other animals do. And I'm going to say that I think it's everyday self that makes an animal think that it has everyday karma or not, right? I mean, does anybody else have a thought?
Yeah, I agree with you. Um, and physics also says that every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'm thinking, yeah, so I don't totally buy this having no karma, um,
Mm-hmm.
because I think with everyday set, as long as we're conscious, um, as long as our consciousness is not totally united with Guru or Shiva, and I think everyday self gets involved. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like Gian Davies, was it brother-in-law? I mean, he went out with a bang, and
Not a whimper.
um,
he did.
and I think, um, but I do think that I don't buy completely, because every action, if the physical laws um apply, can be do apply, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So what we
Mm-hmm.
do
Throughout time.
comes,
So,
yes, yes,
so let's say a couple of reincarnations ago, I did a horrible thing. I'm still paying for it. So, and maybe that's it. I'm just listening to the concepts. It's
yeah,
going
But
to make me wonder,
I kind of think
in a
so.
way, it's kind of good for us to have karma, to have ownership of what's happened, except it
Yeah,
is kind of sad if, 3 generations later, you're born into whatever happened 3 generations ago. Maybe that's the point. I don't know.
mm, guys, I feel like one of the messages from COVID was about there not being really time anymore, that time is so much
yeah,
more fluid. So what if the karma gets acted out on another timeline, but you can basically skip timelines and be in a place without the karma?
I'd buy
Would that
that.
mean you have to be personally aware that you need to jump a timeline?
Oh, I don't know. I think probably the highest self. Maybe that's what the laughter is about magnetizing us to the highest self, that it's the highest self that skips the timelines.
Mm-hmm.
Or the physicist would say something like the quantum field, that
Yes.
which is beyond time and space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, but
It sounded like a
I
good idea.
mhm, right. I would think that. Hmm. So, oh, near, what is it? Near there? No, that's
Mhm.
not it. So what happens at the end of nothingness, which is totally all God?
Mm.
Isn't that the end of karma?
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Would you say that again? I'm so sorry, guys. I need to hear it again.
Mm.
Um, uh, isn't karma about when we have finished that, don't we let go and then be totally in God? Isn't that right?
Yeah, but how would you know? Do you just have some really great life that goes, oh, I must be karma free? How would you just know? I did do some work. Can't remember what we were doing. It was yogic something, learning how to how. Anyway, you had to sit with this person and whatever messages I was getting. One was this girl I was working with was karma free. Some people are. I don't know why that is just some. It's too big of an unknown for me. It's just that I've been in situations where I've heard things enough that I'm going, I don't understand.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we just say whatever.
Okay.
Good.
Why,
Okay.
guru?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have Gian Sprem. Oh my goodness. We found him. Okay. Go ahead, dear, with laughter.
So what Bubba showed me was a child with dropping an ice cream,
Are you having trouble
and
hearing him?
then somebody
Yes, I am having
coming to that
trouble.
person. Put
Wait a
ourselves
minute.
in a position of.
Okay.
Gian, don't prim. Something's up. Like
It's
it's hard
like
to
a
hear you.
weird audio.
I did have a little trouble getting back on.
I hear you now. Are you just at a place
Um,
with strong Wi-Fi and like I don't know if you're wearing a Bluetooth or not.
Maybe he'll
but
dial again.
Can you
Jarvis,
try?
what's happening?
Giandas Prem, the audio was weird when he was delivering his message from Baba. It was just completely choppy, but try it now. Talk and see if it works.
Okay.
hello.
Okay.
Sounds
Now,
good.
Hello.
2 words.
so for me,
Yep, you got it.
I was getting a visual, and it was of a child or maybe myself, like dropping the ice cream. You know how we come with this joy of this thing that we see, and we're so ready to have it, and then it just sort of drops on the ground in some mud or dirt or what have you. And we sort of, yeah, we have that crying, right? Or we feel like we've lost something. And
So, Gian Prem, we're
then,
still
of
having
course, this must be somebody, and someone notices that, and they come. For me, it was a deep connection. Oh, noticing the joy and that appreciation of where we are in the current moment. Yeah, through the ice cream, though, through the noticing of that dropping of the ice cream, and from to the ground where you may see all that dirt on it, and then just noticing all of the other things that come from the ground. Yeah, and that we're there with that too. There was that, and the bringing of the tone through the laughter of what are we letting ourselves with joy and grace, so that we're looking at from all of possible directions. Quite good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you, dear. We appreciate that.
Quite
And
good.
yeah, and maybe you can find out why that your phone is going strange. Okay. But thank you, dear.
Quite
Thank you
good.
very much. Okay. So, Huddy Munder.
Okay. Okay. um, the first thing that I was reminded of is that Yogi Bhajan had always taught you must laugh out loud every day or you will go crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
And I keep remembering that off and on, or saying that to people off and on, but I have a very hard time creating that laughter, or and so just it doesn't matter whether you feel it or not. You can just just laugh, and that has the same effect as the spontaneous laughter that comes, because it creates the same effect. But the other piece of this is my daughter laughs a lot, but
Which one?
Melanie,
Okay.
and I probably shouldn't have said her name. I should have just said my younger daughter. And when we're having dinners or something, she is drinking wine or something, and it seems like I'm repelled by it. It's like I have to protect myself, and I just back up. And last night, they live 2 doors away from us, and they have a wonderful backyard, and they like parties, have friends over. And last night, they had several friends over, and the laughter was heard throughout the neighborhood. Um, but I think of it as being alcohol fueled, or
Uh-huh.
just too, I find it assaultive. And I'm going to have to deal with that somehow for myself. Um, I'm not sure at the moment, or through heart breath or Ho'oponopono or something. But it's a problem for me. It has been a problem for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
well,
so, yeah,
let's
that's my.
let's find out about that. Everybody, can you tell us why people are laughing as a result of alcohol? Listen, just listen for about 1 minute. And inhale and exhale. And now anybody.
I can say something.
Oh, go on, go on.
It's Jokyan Devi. Hi, Harimandar.
Hey,
Hey, as you were talking since the very beginning, is it something that has this child laughs easily and has always, and before she lived near you as a neighbor, did her laughter bother you?
probably not.
Okay. And that we don't know enough to know why, but I bet you do.
Mm.
Well, it's growing up. I mean, her kids are now adults and young adults, and I'm sure it's mother-daughter stuff, and I don't know. I do.
Right.
Okay. So Japa Saraswati.
I think my message isn't especially about Harimandar's family, but the message that I got was that people do alcohol, like if it becomes a compulsion, that it's part of an addiction, so that there's something that they don't want to face in their sober life or in their like not addictive cycle. So they do addiction in order to avoid that. And then the laughter that I felt from Baba. Oh, this was the other thing that Baba showed me. Oh man, this is what I was supposed to say from before. So Baba showed me how similar that laughter and crying are, that they're both the same type of hysteria. And what I felt from the laughter on the front end of addiction is that it's really just covering up crying, and that it's really a kind of crying. And I've been really like, was it last week with you guys where I was saying how I feel that snotty afterbirth, of like
Yeah.
being just covered in, yeah, that's
Mhm.
like the part of rebirth. And what if this kind of uh, laughter is just crying, but without tears?
Oh, well,
Breath
you
of
know,
fire.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was another part of it. Yes.
I didn't hear what you said.
With the breath of fire, can you hear me better now?
I hear, yes, we can. I can hear you better now.
Okay.
Wrath of fire. No, I didn't think of that.
So for me, it comes personally with the and the noticing and the background noise is what I've been noticing the last couple of days. Now I'm hearing it um more subtly, but it's the vibration is different than what I've heard. And so for me personally, with my alcohol addiction, and with my family, I've noticed that there is a vibration to our laughter, right? How we use it. And I think that it does come in with that breath of fire sometimes. I noticed it was breath of crier. I joked one time at a class and my friend laughed, and I was just like, wow, that's so true how it comes that way, that when we do that practice of the laughter and the yoga, that it comes to that noticing. And like right now, I live in a loud area, so I have noise going at nighttime to get me to sleep. And the mantra, it seems to work really the best, for coming into that noticing and being able to work through the breathing. But yeah, the noticing of that. And the most important thing, like Hari Munder, is, and back to the tone of how, the laughter, of that joy of the laughter. But then there's something else that we notice in that, and in our diet, we don't use use alcohol to an extent when we're doing spiritual practice, because it tends to have a little bit lower of a vibration, or it has a use that we don't want to bring into our body. It has a cleansing use, or a way that it works, that it's meant to work, right? That it cleans, that it goes into the ground and does what it does. But that's also my opinion, that, you know, and then we make a joyous elixir out of it that can also make us behave in other ways that yeah, it tends to bring us back to the ground in a sense. I think from my experience, I had to break the chain, and to stop the drinking was a big thing for me. But I noticed that maybe the background voices can be in like other things I put in my body, the caffeine and whatnot. But I think if we notice that noise coming in and how we're receiving it, that we can, you know, we can sort of soften that, and bring that strength into our being able to be noticed as, you know, a healing, like, because that laughter does come into us as is an awakening, as a, you know, a force that we're in, that joy of that ecstasy, right? Is that we're in that calmness of that knowing. So we do have a sense that we have to deal with that, you know, how we've become to that point, and be in that joy, right? And come back to that laughter, that, you know, it may be a way for them that they're finding it, but they're finding it in that way. And let's you know, maybe I put my prayer into them be coming home safely, or, you know, and that can help to soften the sound, right? Like that white noise that will come back all the way into my breath, you know. Sometimes I have to push those thoughts aside and get back to that sat nam. And that's what I've learned so much here, and I'm so thankful for that. It's just so amazing to hear that, you know, through the support that we come through here. And yeah, it's it's so strong and powerful, and I so, and then the name Harimanda is just, you know, it's just so amazing, yeah, to come there and share our truths here, and just Waheguru with that. That's such a gift to take with me for the next week. You know, my son's getting married in a couple of weeks, so I'm excited for that. And you know, there's going to be some things going on there, I know, that may make me uncomfortable, but I'm gonna dance. You know, I'm gonna dance. And I'm gonna sing, and I'm gonna bring maybe a couple of songs, and yeah. So that's, yeah. And I love you guys so much for helping me with this, you know, because it really is part of the experience, yeah, of like the breaking of that chain of, you know, or stepping into that, you know, that knowing of ourselves, and the reminder that we get from each other. Yeah, Waheguru, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I
So,
can jump in, could I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
For Harimondo, what's coming to me is for her to laugh, and to laugh a lot, regardless of her daughter, you know, her daughter, and she must love her daughter very, very much, and so her daughter, there's lightness and whatever in her being. But for Harimander, to look at you know, finding things that make her laugh, and even if there aren't any things in particular, still laugh. Laughter is very, to me, it's very contagious, you know.
Mhm.
But I do feel that yeah, I think you know, that's all I really need to say. You know, separately from, you know, because she said that if her daughter wasn't near her, her daughter's laughter probably wouldn't bother. So she, to be just to laugh, and to be happy, and to be grateful. Maybe that would be, you know, be helpful.
yes, yes, I love that.
Can I
Okay.
add? Can I? Because it made me remember that was at the beginning of the meditation, what Baba said was infectious and contagious laughter. And what he said was that our high vibration is contagious, and that it spreads, and that we That's
Mhm.
how we share that. That's how we share it. That's how we
Mm.
share the high vibe is when with our laughter.
Mm.
Mhm. Exactly. The thing with alcohol, it just goes to your brain, and you and the brain is no longer to squash for, I can't, that's not the right name, but to be able to be open, whatever.
Mhm.
Because with alcohol can either be with laughter, and it can also be very difficult
Right.
emotion, you
Tears.
know?
Yep. Mhm.
It's just letting go with
Mhm.
awareness or whatever. So, for me, I would say that just stay with plenty of laughter. How
Mhm.
about that?
And I
Just
should
be happy
say,
with that.
I should say for her party last night, it certainly was contagious within her group and her
Mm.
friends that were there because they were all laughing. I mean, it was,
Mm.
Hmm. And what about you? How about you, even without alcohol? And were you contagious, or were you just being uh, depressed because it was alcohol?
um, I don't know. There's not a lot of, there's alcoholism in the family, but there is, it's not a, um, it's not a way of life for her family. It's
Mm-hmm.
just wine if for a party, but it's not a normal kind of thing. So, uh, yeah, the message is I've got to lighten up. So,
Yes, that sounds good.
Patty
Okay.
Mundar, there are
yeah,
these party games that are out there now that you might never have played that are hilarious. I wonder, of course, this is probably more of an issue, like long term for you guys, but there are these games that are hilarious, and the whole point of it is to make everybody be laughing, which
yeah.
works well. So they very well could have been playing a game and you didn't know it. But on the other side, you also said she's laughed most of her life. She's a laugher, right?
Mhm.
She is someone who does that responds that way. Like it's a natural response to her, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I'm
And
sorry.
the times that I laugh are often when I'm working with my goddaughter or someone who is going through um, hard times, and
Uh-huh.
laughter lightens it, or
Mhm.
um, it's a way of dealing with the hard,
Mhm.
hard.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Right.
Maybe
That
you
makes
do that as well as even when you're happy. How about that? Is
Mhm.
that possible?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be talking to whomever I'm talking to, and it's the interaction that creates the laughter, and it's lovely.
That's right.
yeah.
Okay, folks. So how about
Can I sing?
no, first we
Oh,
need to laugh. We're going
oh,
to laugh right now.
okay, okay.
So
Harry Munder's going to hang up and run away. We're going to come back on.
No, it's been
oh,
laughing.
good.
And this is
Okay, so now
Oh my
we'll
goodness.
we'll Baba
I made it.
Saraswati. Well, the laughter is we've used that as a yoga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
but Saraswati,
No.
she had one more thing to say. Did
Oh no, I said, can I sing? Because
Yeah.
I feel that I'm supposed to be the one to sing the song today.
okay?
Yes, do it now.
Okay. Inhale.
Do it now.
May the long time sunshine
Shine
upon
upon you,
all
all
us around
around you,
and
and
the
the
pure light
pure
within you.
in you.
God,
Guide
Guide
your
your
way
way,
on.
God,
Guide your
guide
way
your way
on.
on,
God,
Guide
guide
your way
your way
on.
Inhale.
on.
Bless you. Love you all.
Happy solstice, everyone.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
kisses and
thanks.
plenty of laughter.
Be well,
Okay,
everyone.
see
the
ya.
day
Love you
Thank
all.
you.